Dr. Tan Yia Swam.
Madam Deputy Speaker, Madam, it has been a year and a half since the COVID-19 outbreak started in Singapore. In his speech on 5th July, Minister Wong addressed how the government was looking to support the population through the outbreak, namely addressing the measures to take care of the health of the population and the financial support provided to individuals. I thank Minister and the rest of the multi-ministry task force on their hard work in fighting a pandemic and their care of the health of the citizens, especially in light of the two massive clusters. The various ministerial statements yesterday have been reassuring in answering some of the concerns I had over recent developments. However, as we consider and debate the health of the economy, as a healthcare professional myself, I want to talk about the health of society. What kinds of health? I'm talking about physical health, mental health, and emotional health. In this pandemic, I don't deny that the physical health of the people is a priority, and we want to ensure that Singapore, to the best that we can, is COVID safe as we push for greater vaccination rates. Yet there might be better ways we can ensure society is safe without measures being overly taxing on the people. Rostered routine testing, RRT, that has been implemented is an extremely resource-intensive task. As we debate on the financial support being spent to help affected individuals and companies, we should also ask, has our spending to ensure that the population is safe been effective? To date, there have been more than 13.6 million PCR swabs performed as part of the RRT, and a large part was for RRT, which has picked up a small handful of positive cases. This is an invasive deep nasal swab that has been performed on construction, marine, maritime, manufacturing, and migrant workers residing in dormitories on a regular basis since mid-2020. Recently, it's been implemented on inpatient healthcare workers. Inpatients and visitors do a different, less invasive nose swab, the antigen rapid test, ART, before they're allowed entry to hospital. The costs are not only financial, but to the health of these people. Ministry of Health has replied that there are few reported adverse effects, but there are adverse effects nonetheless. I encourage the ministry to do a survey and to provide support for people who have suffered adverse effects from the deep nasal swabs. The professional bodies may be able to assist in such a survey. Deep nasal swabs should perhaps be used as the gold standard diagnostic test for high-risk populations, namely identified potential clusters, rather than be used for baseline screening in RRT, with promising developments of less invasive methods being used for testing, notably the saliva-based test, breath analyzers, which some of you have tried out before Parliament sitting yesterday. I wonder if the implementation of RRT could be revised to include these less invasive but adequately effective testing methods. But ensuring the physical health is not enough. While the ministries have worked hard to ensure that everyone is physically safe, it comes at the cost of the mental health. On the national level, I believe this manifests as the fabric of society. We see it last week as we shift back into phase 2 heightened alert. As a nation, we just inched out of our shell, only to scoot backwards hurriedly. No man is an island. Not being able to dine in, not being able to meet people face to face, it takes a toll on the mental health of our people. In the past 3 years, the number of police reports on physical assaults was the highest in 2020, despite us being supposedly prevented from coming into contact with each other. Acts of racism, violence, and self-harm are on the rise. What I see is the hurt from these people. Hurt people hurt themselves and hurt others. We cannot deny that we must stay safe to protect our loved ones, but we also cannot deny the strain that the pandemic has put on us, whether physically, emotionally, financially, and our inability to reach out to connect with others. It will soon be reaching 2 long years in our battle against the pandemic. We need to be able to support one another, especially to destigmatize mental illness, and channel more support towards avenues where people can reach out and ask for help for their mental health. Members of Parliament, a recalibration is required. The MMTF described a future where Singapore would be in endemic mode on 24th June, but it's been a month and here we are managing the virus in pandemic mode with sudden changes, a lot of back and forth in the measures, with no sight of whether things can get better or how decisions are made. Sometimes it feels like we're always having to shift and having to suffer. Money is only a stopgap to some of the issues we face. Grants can only do so much to help businesses recoup their losses or for people to regain their jobs, their dignity. We need to find a new sustainable balance between preventing risk of physical health and preserving the delicate fabric that holds our society and our economy together. We cannot keep chasing the wind. We need to take control of how we take risks and manage risks. While the vaccination target is a good one to have, it's not clear if we will shift out of phase 2 heightened alert once it has been hit. The pandemic is uncertain, but citizens will benefit if milestones have been set and we keep to them. We need the government to be able to trust us to do the right thing. No one wants to forsake. No one wants to be the one responsible for the next outbreak. The so-called KTV cluster, what exactly happened at these places? Do the patrons and hostesses understand how COVID is spread? Is there a medical indication to perform urethral, vaginal, anal swabs to look for viral shedding? At the fish port and wet markets likewise, what is the root cause for the spread? Could it be a simple barrier breach because the mask got wet? By understanding the route of transmission, only then can we educate each other on how to minimize risk. These are some of the basic safe tips I know. Wear a dry surgical mask, practice good hand hygiene, don't touch your face, keep a physical distance. Reactive shutting down of all services causes suffering to many, while the important lessons are not learned. Prescribing group numbers without sharing the principles of these decisions won't help people make better decisions about their health. Give us some simple rules with simple reasons why, and let people make that choice, and trust that we can make the right choice. As much as health and safety is of utmost importance, the body is not the only thing we have. We must make sure that the mind, the heart, and the body are all healthy together. That cannot be achieved with fear incited to make sure we are safe, but with a more nurturing approach to ensure that everyone unites to stay safe together. Let's work together to create a healthy and happy Singapore. Thank you.